This episode of the DisCast was recorded on January 21st, 2015, at discast.us/live. Tune in Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern to watch the show, or watch recorded episodes on YouTube and iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at DisCastShow, to enter the trivia contest, and more. If you're feeling generous, please throw us a donation on our PayPal or our Patreon to get cool prizes. It would really help us a lot. Thank you, and enjoy the DisCast. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. To our new listeners, we welcome you aboard our podcast Highway in the Sky, and hope you've enjoyed the past week. For those of you standing, please hold on to your headphones at all times, and stand clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no trolling please. Thank you, and enjoy the DisCast. Hey, what is up guys, it is Ryan, and welcome to the DisCast. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2014, and it is shortly after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here today with Darren. Say hello, Darren.
Hey! I always forget to move my microphone until like the last second before we start.
Right. It's always whenever you hear me telling you where we are in the intro.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
I'm like,
crap,
I gotta move
everything.
my microphone.
Yeah, that seems to be how it goes.
Yeah, every week.
Hello, Robot.
Okay.
Hello, Disney Chris, who both just showed up in the chat. We got a decent amount of viewers for tonight. We do have a good show planned for you as well. It's going to be more of a discussion kind of thing. So we're going to go off what we see on the websites, and then we're kind of going to snowball our discussions past that. And we are always happy to have some viewer input as well, so if there's anything you guys want to see, anything you guys want us to talk about, you can let us know in the chat when we have a loss of something to talk about. Right? How was your week?
Pretty good. No more board meetings, so...
Woo! So we have Darren all the time. Which is good, because I might
unless
be late
work
next week.
pops up and I'm...
Ooh, because I might be late next week, so...
Okay.
Gonna have to deal with that. Schools are supposed to be fair.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I got another cold, believe it or not. I don't know if you can tell, I'll maybe sound a little nasally, might cough a little, might sniff a little. I got a second cold in 2 weeks, which is really strange, because I, like, never get colds or sick or anything like that, so it's a little...
Last year it was me,
yeah,
right? After that I was out, like, 4 weeks in a row.
Yes. Oh, it was crazy.
It has to be, like, some junior high school thing.
Yeah, that's what it is, yep. All
junior
juniors.
podcasters.
Yes, if you're a podcaster and you're a junior in high school, your immune system just takes a turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Yeah,
No more nasally than usual. Love you, Robot. As always,
Decent week
decent
for
week.
news.
Oh, decent week for news. Yeah, we got a couple things open. The hack deconstruction keeps going down. Yesterday, I took a picture. Well, I got a picture of it looking like a fez with the Islamic crescent and star on it.
There has been one picture I found when the whole deconstruction originally started, and it was nighttime. The hat wasn't turned on,
Right.
but the Earful Tower was on, and I thought that was the coolest picture. I spent like 3 hours today trying to find it, and I cannot find it.
I think I saw that picture.
I feel like I posted it somewhere. I searched all over WDW Magic. I was all over people's Instagrams. Like, I knew I saw the picture, and I just couldn't pinpoint where I saw that.
Yeah, I'll keep a lookout and I'll let you know if I find it. If anyone does find that picture, tweet over to Darren at DisCastDarren.
Yeah.
So before we get started with our trivia and all that kind of stuff, we do want to talk about Spectral Radio. Darren.
Ooh, I could do this. First time this year.
Yeah.
So, check out Spectral Radio if you enjoy 24/7 Disney music, if you enjoy, imagining that you're in the parks, or if you're actually in the parks, but some kids talking loudly. Feel free to just tune in to Spectral Radio, 24/7 Disney music. It's very scattered as to, what parks you'll get, and the different loops or soundtracks or themes that you'll listen to. I personally listen to it. Ryan, I think you listen to it too.
Yes, I do.
So spectralradio.us, go and check them out.
Yep. And
If you would like to be like Spectral Radio
and have your name announced,
yeah, feel free to donate. discast.us/donate.
Yep.
Donating helps keep us up and can add important and cool things into the show for the future.
yeah, if you tweet at one of us, we'd be more than happy to tell you about how you can become a official sponsor and things like that. Your organization, your brand, whatever, just let us know and we'll
You
work
yourself.
that out. So that's pretty cool. And so that is that. And now we will start with our
Trivia. So I wasn't here last week, so could you refresh me on what last week's question was?
Last week we asked everyone to tell me. Let's see if you know the answer, because no one no one answered the trivia. Everyone was tweeting at us, telling us how great the show was, and then no one actually answered the trivia question.
Okay.
So.
Was it a difficult question, or just...
No, not really. I think it's just because I didn't put the show up on YouTube because I was a little busy.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's why. So I'm gonna put the show from December, the last one before we broke, and then we're gonna have last week's show and this week's show all coming up on YouTube this week.
Oh, awesome.
So that's gonna be good. It's gonna be a big week if you haven't been able to watch things. And no, Chef Nami was the previous question. Robot, sorry.
Chief, not chef.
Yeah, chef. Did I say chef?
Yeah, you said chef.
I'm sorry. Chief Nami was the...
It's okay, you're sick. We'll forgive you this week.
Yeah, okay. Chief Nami was the previous trivia question. Last week's trivia question was, in the Carousel of Progress final scene, what does the grandfather say he would like the new automated home system to bring him?
Well, I don't know.
It's a root beer.
Really?
Yes.
No, like space coffee?
No space coffee. No, just a root beer. He's a grandpa. He wants his old-fashioned drinks. So unfortunately, no one did get that. But we'll give you guys an update on your trivia card of winners nonetheless. And here we are on the second side. Who wants to be next? Brad Almond was the last person to be added. Do you want to be added? Make sure you answer this week's trivia question. If you do want to answer the trivia question, do not put it in the Twitch chat. Head on over to Twitter, tag us at DisCast Show with the hashtag DisCastTrivia for your chance to win. So, name the attraction with this quote. No, I didn't kill anyone. It was an accident. Name the attraction with that quote.
Soren?
Yeah, definitely Soren, yeah. If you think you know the answer, head on over to Twitter, tag us at DisCast Show with the
You're in your
hashtag
hang glider and
DisCast.
somebody kicks
Bob Iger's golf ball hits someone.
Yeah.
And that's what
No,
Bob
it's,
Iger tried to explain himself.
Right?
That was Bob Iger who...
No, it was Eisner.
Eisner.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Again.
Mickey golf ball.
Yeah. So Eisner hit someone and yeah.
Oof.
So,
Tough break. That's why he got kicked out of
oh, that's why?
Walt Disney Company. Yeah.
Got it.
They're like, we can't have this on our hands, man.
So there you go. You can head on over to Twitter and enter for that, and that will be a good time. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Alright, so I guess we'll move right along to news. Alright, so we're going to do this a little bit more discussion-based. I have a couple things that we're definitely going to talk about, and then we'll just kind of go from there and see where conversation takes us. So, first off, have you seen... Actually, where do we want to start off? I think we'll start off with what we have coming to Disney Springs. So
yeah, they're getting some major headway done in that project.
Yeah, I mean, they just announced a ton of new stores that could be opening in the first phase of the landing. So that's where Pleasure Island once was. The space, like, bordering the west side.
Is there any plan for Disney Quest, or is that going to stick out like a sore thumb?
I think right now it's just kind of there. We haven't really heard anything of what's happening to it. I'd love to see it.
They should like repaint it or something. Like I'd love to see it in a new building, but if not, like just de-1990ify it.
Yes, I've said it before. It is kind of like future gaming in the 90s. I think it could very well be upgraded now to show some new technology and showcase some cooler things than what it is right now. I've said this time.
Well, we're on the topic of this. Do we think that they're just going to get rid of it? Kind of like the whole Space Mountain Arcade. For those of you guys who don't know, the Space Mountain Arcades being...
Oh, I wanted to talk about this last week. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah. So I figured we could just throw this in right now while we were talking about Disney Quest, because it could be the same situation with Disney Quest, and that might be why they're not updating it. So the arcade at the end of Space Mountain, they're getting rid of that because people are suggesting it's because of a Florida law that prohibits. It was something that could be interpreted.
Illegal gambling thing.
Yeah, it could be interpreted to include arcade games. So, is the possibility that some of Disney Quest falls under that, and they're like, we just don't want to have anything to do with it?
I mean, it's more of an entertainment thing. You're not really getting prizes at Disney Quest. It's not like a Dave & Buster's. Because Dave & Buster's has been specifically targeted in this kind of law. So, pretty much, Walt Disney World, this is from an Orlando Sentinel article from earlier this month. They're saying Walt Disney World plans to stop dispensing prizes at its hotel video game arcades, and Florida's ban on internet cafes may be to blame. I forget the wording. There was things stopping internet cafes and gambling, And
what's the value of no internet cafes?
I don't know. It's some kind of strange Florida.
They want to flood people to the libraries for free Wi-Fi.
I mean, it's state funded,
Yeah.
but pretty much the prize redemption counters at the resort hotels are being closed, and also the claw machines inspired. Well, the machines that inspired this famous scene in Toy Story, those are also being removed. I don't know if you've noticed, but in like Chuck E. Cheese and Dave and Buster's are suing them for their arcade games giving out prizes are gambling and things like that. And Disney's kind of like, well, we have to do something before we get caught. So they kind of
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole technical aspect of laws, but I feel like it's kind of ridiculous. No matter what happens, if it does boil down to Disney getting involved, no government has the equal amount of lawyers as Disney can provide in any situation. So
I'm reading the rest of the article right now. I'm not really paying attention to what you're saying, sorry. But I'm reading the forum response to it, and a lot of people seem to be really happy about it for some reason. So there's some people who are being sarcastic of why it's not really that big of a deal, but a lot of people are actually not like.
So
glad
could they could continue to have the games, just not ones that yield any sort of prize?
Yeah, not ones that you're paying money to potentially win a prize.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the things they're trying to steer clear of, which they don't actually have to stop. They haven't had any legal pressure to stop. I think it's kind of preemptive, so they don't get into any legal trouble, because it's kind of bad press to say that, oh, Disney's running a gambling house. So, yeah.
Although you read that, everybody will read the article and be like, oh, this is ridiculous, whatever.
Right, yes. So, I mean, sure, that's that. And anyway, back to what we were saying about Disney Springs and the first phase of things that are going to be opening in the first phase of the landing. We have a Sunglass Hut, Apex by Sunglass Hut, which is a range of high-end sunglasses. It's going to have Ray-Bans, Oakley, and all the major brands. It's similar to what we have in Adventureland now. And I think there's one... where else? Sunglass Hut.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the Sunglass Hut obviously entered some kind of contract with Disney to have their stores in place, and people went crazy. They went crazy over the whole Adventureland thing. They're like, "Well, this doesn't make any sense," but the store's open now. It's really not that big of a deal. Just the same old store, just with more sunglasses.
people make issues out of things that aren't really issues.
Yeah.
Right, like there was a lot of backlash with the Starbucks when they were first announced, and people seem to be fine with it.
I was really hopeful for Starbucks.
People were like, brand integration, things need to be Disney because Disney knows what they're doing, and like, okay, shut up.
Yeah, whatever. So in addition to Sunglass Hut, we have Havaianas, which is designer flip-flops, and you can create your own flip-flops. They'll probably have Disney prints and things like that, as well as the prints that Havaianas has. I think they're Hawaiian or something. It's a strange name.
Could you get custom prints?
I'm not sure.
Because I would get your face on the shoe.
My face.
That way
on
I
the
could
bottom.
walk all over you.
Yeah, of course. Yes. So, orders for Ryan flip-flops, Ryan bottom flip-flops will start next month. Just kidding. Next up, Art of Shaving.
Work on it. Donate.
Yeah, donate. Art of Shaving, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a shaving supply store. Was there previously one somewhere in Disney, or am I thinking of somewhere else? Because I've seen that before. Maybe it was at at a Tanger Outlets or something. I'm not sure.
Probably. Yeah.
But there's a high-end shaving kind of place that's going to be there.
There was one of the stands in the Springs had shaving things.
Oh, true. Yes.
That's
what it was. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that a few months ago, back when those stands first opened up, and we were kind of figuring out the whole integration of the theming and how it was actually turning out based on those stands.
Right. Also, we have Sanook, which has creatively inspired shoes. I'm going to their website right now. They're shoes. They're just a shoe store. Like, kind of upper tier shoes, but it's
Yeah.
nonetheless. Chapel hats, which is exactly what it sounds like. You got some
Nice hats.
nice headwear kind of thing. All sorts of hats. There's a backpack.
Those are the best.
By a leopard, and it's kind of a leopard like poncho kind of thing. But that's that. Also sound line, which has all the things you could quite need in your sound wear. You got headphones, you have music players, we got speakers, all your sound and music products you can get there, as well as a gluten-free vegan bakery from the creator of Baby Cakes, which was closed, wasn't it? The old location, or they were opening a new one? I don't remember. It was something with Baby Cakes. But Erin McKenna's Bakery NYC. The creator of Baby Cakes NYC, so that's gonna be pretty cool. This is in addition to the restaurants we know are coming.
So they announced new ones.
Yeah, so we have the Boathouse, which I think is going to be cool, and the Morimoto Asia place. And there's
Did you see the pictures of the Boathouse?
Yeah, I think we showed them on here.
Update pictures.
Oh, you mean like actual construction?
Yeah.
No, I just saw the concept art. Why?
It's looking good.
Right.
I don't know. I have been. I was skeptical at first because I'm like, it kind of looks a little bit like preppy from the concept art. Like it looks a little too like high class. Like you wouldn't want to like walk around with children or anything. But it's very like, it's very like beach towny, and I like that.
That's the idea. That's what we were saying when we looked at the concept art. It was kind of like, oh, this looks like it could be a place in a New England kind of area. Like I think the concept art of the inside with the bar and everything reminds me of. Have you been to
I was talking about Disney Springs as a whole.
Oh, as a whole. All right.
Yeah, but it's very it's like upper class, but it's not like pushy upper class.
Right. Okay. That's the good kind of upper class. Not like Victoria and Albert's in your face. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Personally, I just don't like it. It's not my thing.
That's what my fear was. It was going to be something like if you aren't dressed up, you'd look out of place there. So it's good to see that, it still has a very casual vibe, but it's like classy casual.
Right. And I think, back to the Boathouse, I think the interior concept art that we saw of it, it reminds me of one of the beach food huts. Like if you go to like, I know in Long Island a couple of big beaches are Cupsog and Smith's Point. If you go to either of those, they have the food stand, you walk inside, and the interior looks just like that, except there's a lot less motorboat motors on the wall. Which I think that's a cool touch too, the whole boat motors that they have on the wall.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna look
it's unique.
Really, really cool. Yes, it's definitely unique. It has a nice, gives it a little cool touch. So I can't wait. I think it's gonna be really sweet.
People are asking what my shirt says. It says University of California, Los Angeles.
My shirt says nothing. It's a bunch of stripes.
Yeah, I see that.
Are you watching the live stream in another window?
I have it paused.
Oh, all right, got it.
I update it every now and again to see if there's some sort of graphic up or something.
Ah, okay, yeah, we don't have graphics up tonight. I just kind of doing discussion kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got that. I figured that out.
Yeah. So we have the new Peter Pan queue opens.
Love it.
It's amazing. I think should we show a video
of
Peter Pan queue? Should I get
we showed it. We showed it when it originally opened.
Well, we didn't show the interactive stuff. 'Cause the interactive stuff opens on January 18th.
Some of it did, not all of it.
All right.
So
we get a screen region and I'll mute the audio because we don't need to listen to it. We'll go into this. We'll turn off that screen region, and we will get a new one. Hold up just 1 second. Ba-da-ba-bum. Screen capture. Boom. Cool. All right.
I'll suggest that we talk about me.
Well, whatever.
And you, mostly me. My name is
All right, so here's some of the interactive stuff in action. As you can see, there's guest shadows and butterflies going about. On this one, they're waving their hand and bells are ringing, and the bells are actually making sounds and stuff. It's kind of this virtual projection kind of thing going on. Over here, Tinkerbell makes an appearance. Tinkerbell soars around, comes through the window and soars around the room a little bit, which I think looks really, really cool. If you can see, there's some Imagineers hanging out in the video, because they're kind of seeing guest reactions, what sticks, what doesn't, and things like that. Here's more bells.
It all looks great.
I think it looks really, really cool.
The part later in the video with the pixie dust.
The pixie dust, yes.
When you get to that.
Yes. Over here is more of Tinkerbell moving around the room. Over here, we'll unpause the video. We'll unmute the sound for a second. They're clapping and pixie dust appears.
That is the coolest thing in the world. I have no idea how that works, nor do I want to know how it works, because that is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
They went ham on the new queue.
They definitely did. I love it. I think it's awesome. I really do enjoy it.
It's a really good step for the interactive queues instead of just like the screens and having like, you hit a few buttons on a screen or something. It's a great step. So
yeah, definitely. I think it's really, really cool.
You know what has the ability to have a really nice interactive queue?
What?
Buzz Lightyear. Like,
okay.
They can get like some sort of like Star Command type thing up, and it could be like a Mission Space type thing where the buttons and whatnot don't really have to do anything, but like just the ability to like flick them and stuff.
Disney Chris thinks that the shadow bells and butterflies think that it's too gimmicky and has nothing to do with the movie. I mean, do you have the same feeling? I think you probably have the same feeling about the walls of honey that you do on Pooh. Like, I don't like it doesn't have too much to do with the movie, but I think I don't really think it's gimmicky as much as it is just cool technology.
It adds to the queue experience. I don't think it takes away anything.
It's definitely not taking away anything at all.
I think it definitely adds to it. But
adds, yeah, I think so as well. And I think
especially the pixie dust thing.
Yes. Well, I mean, that has something to do with the movie. He's talking about the shadow bells and butterflies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand the implication of the shadows because of the whole Peter Pan shadow debacle.
Yes. So the shadow thing makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way I could justify it.
Yes. I mean, I think maybe the fact that they're butterflies and bells. So what? It's some cool little things that you can actually interact with.
Plus, that might not be the final thing that's there. That could be like just like the testing thing to see if the technology works before they put in the real effects. Like I said, the entire thing isn't done yet. There are still elements of it that aren't fully set up and running yet.
Right. I think the bells I definitely want to stay. I think that's the cooler of the two.
Yeah.
I think.
I think the Tinkerbell that goes
best.
around the room looks really cool.
I think that's the coolest thing, the coolest part of the entire queue.
Yeah. First of all, the entire queue itself is great.
Yeah, even with just the visual elements, I was blown away. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
But now we have the interactive stuff coming, and we have guests interacting with stuff. I think that looks amazing. And so I'm sure the Imagineers concurred when they went and they saw everyone having fun with it. So that's good.
Yep. In the end, that's all that matters, right?
It's very, very true. And
people enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah, it was the first test, and we don't know when it's going to
be fully implemented.
Fully, yeah. So it's there. I think they have it going on and off at certain parts of the day to test interactions, stuff like that. So that'll definitely be cool. Keeping with Magic Kingdom, I want to talk about the fact that
Trolley Show.
No, okay, sure. We can talk about Trolley Show. That's for you.
Did you see the new one?
I didn't see it. I saw there's a new show. I'm not a huge fan of the Trolley Show. I know you love it, so.
I don't love it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
And I'll sit and watch it, but it's not like I follow the trolley around to catch every single show in the morning. They updated it a little bit. They got some new outfits.
There's enchanted music.
Yeah.
So that's relevant, apparently.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta add in music.
I guess.
I thought the consistency between the main theme and the switch into the enchanted song, I thought it was pretty well implemented. So
right.
That's all that matters is that the transitions between the two songs are pretty solid.
Okay. Okay, so staying on Magic Kingdom, we have a couple of refurbishment news. The Harmony Barbershop we talked about was going to get a refurb. It's been pushed back 2 weeks. So now it's going to be closing February 16th and reopening March 31st. It was originally supposed to close February 2nd. So not too much to say about that. as most of it would happen. Now, here's another one. An extensive refurbishment is coming to Pirates of the Caribbean, we're pretty sure. It's going to be closing around the summer and reopening at the end of 2015.
Yikes.
For the holiday kind of time. There's lots of issues, though, and we know there's lots of issues with Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
The animatronics have tons of problems. There's audio problems, which I really noticed audio problems when I was last there.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I was thinking about this today. I didn't talk to anybody about this
because I was water. You know the boats take on water,
and they all smash into each other.
That too. I think there's going to be changes to the ride system, changes to the audio system, changes to the animatronics, just tons and tons of things.
You know what I was thinking about today? I was laying down and I was thinking about just how much of a construction mess Walt Disney World is until like 2019.
Pretty much.
Hollywood Studios has like, park reconstruction going on with like 2 or 3 rides open.
Right.
And
the other day,
Magic Kingdom's got the whole hub debacle, and Animal Kingdom's got Avatar Land, and Epcot's just.
The other day, in Hollywood Studios, both Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Were closed.
And Toy Story Mania.
Yeah. No, I think it was Rock and Roller Coaster and Toy Story Mania.
It was Rock and Roller Coaster and Toy Story Mania. So there were 3 rides open: Star Tours, Great Movie Ride, and Tower of Terror. People paid $90 to get in the park to ride 3 rides.
I'm sure there were plenty of refunds issued that day.
That is brutal. Well, have you seen how many closures are happening in Disneyland throughout this year?
Well, I mean, Condor Flats is completely closed because they're redoing that area.
We talked about that last week.
Yes, and Soarin' is probably getting its
update.
Its update in that time as well. I'd be surprised if
it
didn't.
Disneyland Park, I'm talking about. A lot of closures, just big chunks of the year.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a problem with the Matterhorn vehicles they installed, and they're getting new ones already? They installed new Matterhorn They installed new Matterhorn trains, bobsled vehicles, whatever they are. I think they're bobsleds. Anyway, whatever they are. They installed new ones in 2012, and I think there was some kind of problem, and they had to make new ones, and they had to put in new ones already. And yeah, Peter Pan as well. Disney Chris just mentioned.
While we were talking about Soarin', I saw somebody was running one of the marathons, and they took pictures behind the land pavilion, and it looks like concrete was starting to be laid for what would appear to be the third Soarin' theater.
Now, do you think that they're opening that 3rd theater and possibly doing an addition of new projectors? Well, not new projectors, new projection technologies. And coinciding that with California.
I have to agree with that 100%. I definitely think that both the films, they're the same age. And so when you're replacing one, why not replace both?
Right. I personally do think that...
You could buy the projectors in bulk. They're cheap.
I personally do think that Soarin' over California should remain just that.
Just update it, because the film isn't, the highest of quality.
Yeah, and I think that
especially now 10 years old.
I think that Soarin' in Epcot should be Soarin' over the world.
Yeah.
Or Soarin' over the horizon, whatever name is apparently.
Robot asked if Disney purposely chooses time periods that tend to have less guests. Yeah, that's when, January, February, March is when most of the refurbs happen.
I think it's a mix, because if something needs to happen, something needs to happen. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. If it's Christmas Day...
But, the yearly refurbs that happen,
with, Splash.
Splash Mountain's the big one. And then the Main Street buildings all getting repainted. That's the big time that they all happen.
Yeah. And, of course, you have Pirates, which is...
That's a big...
6 months for Pirates.
Oh.
That's a beloved attraction.
That's a big refurb.
Yeah. I mean, it needs it. It needed it. We knew it was coming.
There's going to come a point now where the animatronics are just going to start breaking, and it's not going to be worth Disney's time to, fix every single animatronic. And they're going to have to, make the tough decision of getting rid of the original animatronics and putting in new ones, and, making a ton of people angry, or keeping the old ones and just kind of figuring out a workaround for it. And that's the bad part about old attractions is eventually, they do get old, and you have to kind of find this middle ground where you can keep the ride history in, but you can update it at the same time.
Right.
Same goes for Great Movie Ride.
Yeah. Someone said they had a question in the pre-show. If you want to ask it now, they can go ahead. So let's see. Let's go back to our page and see what's going on.
You want to talk about the hat?
Is there really much to say about it? It's progressing very, very, very quickly.
Deconstruction. Have you seen the pictures people have been taking in front of the hat? Somebody posted this on WDW Magic today about how different people were getting the hat, but they weren't getting any of the construction. They were angling their phones so it would peek off where the hat stopped. So it looked like the full hat was still there.
It's funny.
Yeah. And then eventually people are just going to have to start angling it up so you don't see the hat entirely.
There you go. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw that and I laughed a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Food and Wine Festival's dates are set already. And the Flower and Garden Concert Series isn't called Flower Power anymore. Unfortunately. And now it's called Garden Rocks. Ew.
I like that name better.
I like Flower Power. It was awesome. I guess it's not all 70 people in here. Let's see. Who is coming down?
Off Kilter.
There's no Off Kilter, unfortunately. Let's see. Herman's Hermits, Little River Band, Taylor Dane, The Guess Who, John's Cicada, The Village People, The Orchestra.
As every year.
Starship, En Vogue, Pablo Cruz, and Gin Blossoms. It's basically the same lineup as usual.
Essentially.
Yeah. There you go.
The only lineup that really ever changes for Epcot is the Candlelight Procession, and even then that only kind of changes.
Right. So that's that.
If people keep coming down for those shows, why change it?
Yeah.
You get rid of the ones people don't go to. And
so...
You get who's the cheapest.
September 25th to November 16th are the Food and Wine dates for 2015. It is... Let's see, let me do the math. 22, 3, 4... Yeah, it's the same length as it was this year. Or, last year. Sorry. So they are keeping that kind of extended length going on. Which is good. Or bad, depending on if you like the Food and Wine Festival or not. I still have yet to go and see it.
Really?
Only the best in C-list entertainment, as Chris says, regarding the Garden Rocks concert series.
Yeah.
Hey, Disney Chris, they were a solid B-list in the 80s.
Village People, that might have...
Village People 70s, right?
B-list.
Village People were like, I don't know, A-list
70s,
at
80s.
sports games. Right? YMCA's played in all sports games.
Yeah. Any
yeah.
sort of physical event.
Okay. Not at the YMCA, though. Strangely. I don't know.
Do you think that they had to pay royalty in order to, write the song, or, the song was written as, an advertisement? Do you think that there was, some sort of monetary exchange?
I don't know what the story is
The
behind
YMCA and the Village People?
I don't know the story behind
They're like, hey, we want to write a song, and you guys happen to be 4 letters, and 4 letters is just what we need, so can we use you guys?
Let's see. YMCA song. Content. Oh, this is interesting. You should read the Wikipedia article on the YMCA song. It's actually pretty funny. We're not gonna go over it right now.
Anything interesting?
It's definitely, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, everyone can do that on their own time. Alright, sure.
We only talk about good entertainment.
Yeah, wow. Alright, so that's that. Talking about Food and Wine, let's see, Tinkerbell stuff, we talked about those shops. Oh, Kali River Rapids is also getting a refurbishment.
Yeah.
Well, I think doesn't it usually get a winter refurbishment?
All the water rides do it this time.
But this one is actually going to change where the entrance is, because the entrance
and the exit are like the
and
same
the
spot.
exit are in the same spot. And it's also kind of confusing as to where it is.
It's really confusing.
So.
And you know what? If there's like no cast member looking and you get off, you can just go right back on.
Yeah.
Like once you walk off that bridge, you could just hop over the fence again and go right back on. Like it's the weirdest queue system in the world, and that's why it moves so slow.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But you know, whatever. Where the fast pass machines were is going to be the new attraction marquee and the entrance. Hopefully, it's going to be much more visible. It's scheduled from January 20th to February 9th. So hopefully, everything's much easier to see. That's kind of the deal. So yeah. Let's see. The food trucks are going to have, well, they're dubbing it a food truck takeover.
Oof.
From January 16th to the 18th. That already passed. And pretty much they were giving out things from the Trattoria del Forno. I'm obligated to do it every single time now.
Because I mentioned it.
You mentioned it that one time. So, the food truck, which usually had the Hollywood Studios tastes, because, you know, there's nothing to taste there because everything's closed. So, the Trattoria del Forno chefs were giving up oversized beef and spinach meatball and a sourdough bread bowl with house-made Sunday gravy, lasagna, and tiramisu, which all sounds pretty cool. These food trucks are awesome. I love them.
Yeah, I was reading something about them. I have no idea where this was or what this was. It was just like random information that found its way across my screen. But the food trucks, they're not hooked up to generators. They're all hooked up electrically under the ground.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Do you think the generators would make a loud noise?
Yeah, no, I would have never thought about that. About having...
I mean, it makes sense now that I hear it.
It does, but, you know, until I thought about it, I wouldn't have ever thought about it.
Robot, we talked about the changes to the hub when they were first. And actually, we talked about it before they were announced a few months ago.
We called it out a week before it was announced.
It was the day before.
Yeah, a day before it was announced, and people were yelling at us on Twitter because we were discussing a rumor that wasn't confirmed yet. And then the next day, they confirmed it.
Everyone was like, yeah, no, that's not happening, guys. And then the next day, like, so, yeah. So I do like that they're showcasing tastes from a specific restaurant's menu at the food trucks. I think that's a really cool thing. You know, taking traffic to that, restaurant, but also if it's maybe difficult to get a reservation there for whatever reason, you still want to have the food. There'll be tastes from there at a food carts. Maybe they will do this more frequently and more often, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely hope they do that again. I can't wait to visit the food trucks next time I'm there. That's gonna make that a point to go to the food trucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were in New York City for a while.
Yes,
right?
they were.
The food trucks?
They were. Or there was one of them, I think.
They did like a big tour of them across the country.
Yeah,
right?
we talked about that. I remember vaguely.
That was a while ago. That was like what, a year and a half or so ago.
Yes. You know, right when they were new, before they made their permanent home.
Yeah. Did you see? I'm sorry, I'm getting.
Journey of the Little Mermaid's having a month-long refurbishment from
really?
March. Yeah.
Hopefully they fix those lights you could see.
Yes, I think the deal is they're going to add all of the enhancements from California.
The California ones.
Yeah, so basically make everything...
I heard that made it like a million times better.
It did. Yeah.
Really?
So hopefully they do...
You know what's great is that's one of those rides that looks good on YouTube or something, because when you're watching it on YouTube, you can only see straight in front of you. You can't see anything like up or on the sides or anything. Yeah. And that's where they just have all the lights just sitting there. Like the big scene where you're like the whole under the sea scene, completely ruined if you like even tilt your head up in the slightest way.
Right, yeah. So I mean, when they added the new stuff to California's, it was closed for a month and a half, and this time it's going to be closing for just about a month. So Yeah, maybe there's a couple.
They
of
learned
things
from their mistakes in California. They can get it done faster now.
Right. Yeah. That is quite possible. So hopefully that is indeed what's going on, and we do get the California enhancements.
I would enjoy that because it's genuinely a good ride. It's just it was poorly executed.
Okay. Okay, so here's a monorail news / rumor thing. There's a rumor going around that pipes above the resort line in the Contemporary Resort are leaking and damaging the ceiling.
Oh, really?
So they might have to close the station to fix those issues. So they would have to go into a strange shuttle kind of thing where it starts in the Polynesian, goes to the Grand Floridian Magic Kingdom, and reversing back. We don't know if this is true or not, but the rumor says that the training begins next week for these shuttle procedures. Apparently. And yeah, the rest is kind of news kind of stuff. So I didn't know about this. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
So what, would they just close the station, or like would the entirety of the monorail be down?
No, that station would be closed. They would be doing a shuttle run to go.
No. I'm saying express monorail. Would that still run or no?
Express monorail would probably do a similar thing.
Oof.
A shuttle kind of thing. Well, this is on the resort line, keep in mind. So it would be the resort station that's closing. I think the outer train for the resort would be fine.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And honestly, if they were doing a if they were doing a shuttle kind of thing if they were doing a shuttle kind of thing on Express, it wouldn't really change anything too much, to be honest.
Yeah, you could just take a ferry or whatever.
It would actually decrease the amount of trains you can have, obviously, because you only have one train going. So that's unfortunate.
Hey, whatever. It'll all be worked on.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if they want to add in new monorails, this is a good time to do it then.
Yeah.
Well, you got a whole line down. Because think about it, right? The main reason that monorail, like the monorail cars and stuff, are disgusting is because Disney just has them continually running because of the incident a few years ago. They never replaced both those monorails, so the monorails have been running not really a skeleton crew, but they've been running less than what they're expected to.
Right.
And that was however many years ago. So they don't have the time to be like fully refurbed and cleaned and fixed. So this could be the the time that they need. Having an entire line down. Take 3 monorails off the loop.
Huh.
And you just swap them out, clean it. Then the next day you do the next one, and then that's just it is just enough time to get everything done if you work on it with enough.
Right. See, I'm going over what else is happening. So people are saying that possibly Big Hero 6 might take over. Like it might have a place in Interventions with the IBM Think place closed.
Somebody was asking me yesterday what I thought about Interventions and the current state of it.
There was also a rumor I heard that said that one entire side of Interventions might get closed.
Interventions West. That's what somebody was asking me about yesterday.
Yeah, that's a insane rumor right now.
The only thing that keeps Interventions, justified up is Some of All Thrills.
Yeah.
And that's only half of Interventions. I was pretty disappointed when I was in Interventions and they just had like one whole wall was just different game consoles with different video games.
Right.
Having nothing to do with anything. Like you could play like games that were like 6 years old and
right.
like PS3 and Xbox 360 games. Like okay. Like there's MLB 2K10.
Dan asked if we talk about the European parks. We usually focus on Walt Disney World.
We do mention when there's something notable.
Disneyland. We do mention Disneyland Paris. We do mention Tokyo. Whatever something is happening.
We did a lot of discussion with Disneyland Paris when they were the Walt Disney Company was investing like $1 billion.
Yeah, and then
dude, they're gonna do so much with that money. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I know. We also been talking about Shanghai as that's been built.
Yeah.
Talk a little about Tokyo as things pop up over there. Not too much Hong Kong. Nothing really happens in Hong Kong. Yeah.
So yeah, Interventions. Some of all
Innovations.
thrill is the only thing that's keeping East from being in the grave. So I have
West?
no idea. No, East.
No, East. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
And then West is just a disaster.
Right.
That's the one where the "Where's My Fire" thing.
Yeah.
I am so confused by the theming of Interventions. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not what it could be. It could be much cooler.
Which I'm hoping it is. Maybe bring back like Communicore type thing.
Right.
I was thinking about what I saw on Twitter a while ago, and you showed me this on Twitter about Elon Musk and just having him like take over Epcot and have him sponsor everything.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a full attraction, if like Disney were to go up to him and be like, "Hey, you want to invest in this area where you can like educate the world on like technology and stuff," he just has so many random projects, like not even including Solar City, SpaceX, or Tesla. Like he just has so many other like small things with great like implications. He could fill up like 8 interventions.
Yes, I think that, like, in my opinion, Elon Musk is the embodiment of Epcot.
He's Iron Man.
Person. Yes, he is pretty much Tony Stark.
Tony Stark said that when he was getting into character, he modeled
Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr. He's like,
when
I'm
he was
just-
getting into character for Tony Stark, he modeled himself after Elon Musk.
just more of an asshole. But
Yeah,
that's why I love Tony Stark.
yeah.
Tony Stark is one of my favorite Marvel.
Well, that's like
characters.
Robert Downey Jr. as a person.
Yes,
though. He's
yes.
very.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark is one of my favorite Marvel characters ever.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon's up there after one movie.
So, yeah, Elon Musk will get Soren will be turned to SpaceX. No, you could do
Soarin' over the galaxy with Elon Musk.
yeah,
Test Track is just a Tesla thing.
yeah. Universe of Energy,
Universe of Energy is just a
Solar City.
Yeah, Solar City thing.
The pin trading area and towards the fountain.
PayPal spot.
Yeah, that would be PayPal. Spaceship Earth would be the wild ride.
SpaceX ship.
No. That would
Dragon
be
Earth.
the wild ride of Elon Musk's bank account.
Oh, okay.
It's like the big spiral up, and then it's just down. And then at the end, it goes up a little bit.
There you go. So Elon Musk, Epcot confirmed. The E in Epcot stands for Elon. It's true.
Journey to Imagination would be like his ideas, and the seas would be closed.
The seas just be closed. Elon Musk doesn't like the water. He can't swim.
That's why he wants to go to Mars, right? He doesn't like water.
Oh, is that
Earth
why?
is what, 70% water?
We need a new planet.
We're also like 70% water. That's why he wants to go on Mars. There's no other people there.
Okay, be away from all the water.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be around a bunch of like sea urchins.
What could
Like,
stand
nothing.
for all of the catastrophically failed SpaceX capsules? World Showcase. Just explode it all.
Maelstrom. Too soon?
I kid, World Showcase fans. I love it. So, yeah. But in all
he would definitely build up the Africa outpost. 'Cause
Oh.
he's from South Africa.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, I do think that...
that would be like half of World Showcase.
I think that, on a serious note, that Innoventions could benefit from somebody like Elon Musk giving his ideas and their vision.
You know what the design of Innoventions was? And the only part of Innoventions that actually holds true to this would be Vision House. Right?
Vision House is my favorite part of Innoventions right now because it is, to me,
It's
what Innoventions should
interactive,
be
it
entirely.
shows new technology, which is the entire point of that whole area.
Yes.
You know, to have the interaction, you know, so people would want to go through it. You can go around, touch things, look at whatever, and do stuff in it. And you get to see the new technology, which is, you know, the whole point of it. So if they could do that on a larger scale, like, let's say Sony and Microsoft, they went to Disney, and they're like, before the PS4 and 360, before the One and PS4 came out, they said, hey, we have these new consoles, we could put them in where the old ones are, and that way, you know, people are testing new technology. Or you have some gaming company come in and be like, hey, we have this really cool lifelike simulator thing, and
Like Oculus.
yes,
Have
you have
Oculus come in.
exactly.
Like, these are
That's
all potential things. There you go, with the Facebook money, fund Innoventions Pavilion.
build your own Facebook.
I have a Snapchat robot. I don't use it. Yeah. That's the answer to that question that everyone apparently has in their mind.
No, but I mean, Epcot was designed around corporate sponsorship and companies wanting to participate in this so they can put their best foot forward and they can showcase, the best of the best. And the only company that's really doing that right now would be Chevy and Test Track with the concept cars and showing how the design process works. It's interactive. It shows new technology.
Yeah. I mean, Test Track kind of took away from the whole simulation thing and more to a design thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but...
Yeah. The design is what impacts it, though. Right?
Yeah.
And then seeing how different designs... That's what the whole scorecard thing is that are on the walls. Like, that shows how different aspects of design impact it, which, there's the educational aspect, then the interactive, and new technology.
Yeah, pretty much.
Universe of Energy. That needs an update.
Yeah.
Solar City. You know what I learned? I didn't know that Solar City was free.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
That was the idea.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, but I had no idea. I just knew nothing about the company.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Hold up. Yeah, I guess we could, end it off here.
Yeah, so Elon Musk, take over Epcot.
Take over Epcot, please.
New Epcot president.
Yes.
Who needs that other guy?
They just got one, but,
Yeah.
Elon Musk is the future.
We'll let him take over Tesla. They'll switch places.
Okay, so Darren...
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We shall see you all next time.
This is backwards C, but good night, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. We will see you guys next week. And all through the week on Twitter. Good night, guys.